Yo, what up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy RotoBeast. I'm here with my boy Jeremy and Chris, and hey, we're here to present you our MLB core plays for Wednesday, July 29th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all of our NBA, NFL, and MLB videos. If you haven't came and checked out our website here at DFSCheatSheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily FanDuel and DraftKings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for all your DFS needs. So make sure to come check out the site here at DFSCheatSheet.com. So, hey, how you guys doing out there, fellas?
Fantastic.
Doing good. Yeah, another day of baseball. Happy to kind of every day is getting back into it. We got some DFS going and stuff, so definitely a great time for us. NBA starting tomorrow as well. You know, for me, NBA is my favorite sport, so I'm definitely looking forward to that tomorrow. And yeah, man, for sure. One thing really quick before we do want to jump into it, it's like so I had one of my buddies message me yesterday, and he was like, "Hey, man, what happened? What happened to our cash line today?" He was telling me, you know, we ended up missing cash line tournaments by about, I want to say about 20 points. Okay, and it's DFS. It is what it is. It's like we had three of the top hitters in baseball. You got Mike Trout, you got JD Martinez, and you got Yelich. We would all agree those are probably three of the top five best hitters. Correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yep. And hey, these guys combined for a total of 6 points. And we end up missing cash line by I think about 15 to 17 points total. So it's like, hey, DFS is part of the grind. Everybody has their good days, their bad days, professional sports, everything in life, etc. You got to just keep on pushing. That's a perfect example why, hey, bankroll management is one of the most important things in DFS. We continue to talk about it day in and day out. We preach it over and over. You got to pace yourself. It's not, you know, hey, we're going to go all in today. Hopefully we hit or we're going to go broke. You got to have bankroll management. Me and Jeremy have actually made a couple of videos on our YouTube channel, DFS Cheat Sheet, talking about bankroll management strategies, whether you're a tournament player, you're a cash game player, and stuff like that. So definitely check that out. If you got any more questions, you can definitely message me. You can message Jeremy. I'm sure Chris has some advice on bankroll management as well. So definitely hit us up with any questions. But definitely, you gotta pace yourself. Don't go broke in one day for sure.
So, hey, quick question. On the site, on the right hand side, what does that say? Right, it says daily cash game lineups, right?
Right.
And then you hit the click down. You go down. You pick the sport you want it for. But it says daily cash game lineups, right? That doesn't say all in lineup. That's not what it says, right? And so that's like to follow up on your point. You can't go all in every day. It's not. I mean, I know we've talked about this season being 60 games and it's more of a sprint than a normal baseball season marathon, but daily is daily, man. You got basketball coming up. You got PGA this weekend. You got MLB daily. NBA is about to be daily again. NHL comes back Saturday. You can't diversify yourself if you go all in on one sport every single night. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to be profitable.
Yeah,
I learned as a young man not to shoot my shot too early. Don't shoot my load early all at once. So you have to pace yourself. Although Jeremy and even Steph, you have said with the MLB season, it's more of a sprint this year than a marathon. You still have to pace yourself. And I do that. I look at my bankroll and what I've won the previous days, and I manage it that way. We all have our own set of skills as far as bankroll management is concerned. And I think
what we should do, Chris, to be honest with you, is I think we should put one more of these videos together because all three of us have an expertise. I'm a GPP player. Steph's a cash game player. You could say what you do as a cash game player, but it's definitely a niche. You play and target $100 to $150 to $2 or $3 3-man leagues every night, and you're extremely profitable with that. So we have three different strategies, and that's the beauty of the website. That's why we put these videos out. So, Steph, let's get the cash core, man. I'm ready to get into this thing.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, compared to the past couple of nights, I think today, when we talk about pitcher, it's a little bit more clear cut. for sure. I mean, I'm going to go with Garrett Cole. I really like Garrett Cole. Going against this Baltimore team. Don't get me wrong, man. Baltimore does have some young guys with some pop in that lineup, but at the same time, the key word is they have some young guys. There is a lot of swing and misses in that lineup, especially when he's going to be going against a guy like Chris Davis. That's an automatic 2 strikeouts for him right there. So I definitely think Garrett Cole, the Yankees paid him for a reason. His first game got rained out. When he went 5, he still got the win, correct? He went 5 innings before it got rained out, so he got the win. I think today that, we could possibly see him get extended a little bit more. He can possibly get towards that, 100 pitch mark. And we know the upside that Garrett Cole brings us. Yes, he is the most expensive pitcher on the slate. I understand that. But at the same time, I think I definitely have some good value for you guys to kind of really make him work. So Garrett Cole is a pitcher that I'm putting in right there. I really like him tonight. After that, man, I'm going to jump into it. I'll start with some hitters that I'm really going to be looking at. First guy I'm looking at, I'm liking these Twins today, and I'm going to be looking at Josh Donaldson at 3,100. I think that he's an underpriced guy that we can look at today. He's a guy that he started the season off pretty hot, and I think that he's definitely somebody that we consider. Outside of Donaldson, I'm actually going to stick with his teammate, and I'm going to go with Miguel Sano. Sano at 2,700. He's just coming in at a very cheap price tag. He's batting in that 6th hole. I expect him to get plenty of RBI opportunities. So definitely, I like Sano a lot. I think that Sano is in a really, really good spot to have a good night. And like I said, you're not going to get Sano at 2,700 for most of the season. He's going to pick it up. He's going to kind of get going. So I think that Sano is a really, really good play. After that, I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to go with one of Garrett Cole's teammates. I'm going to go with the Yankee, Aaron Hicks at 2,500. The guy's been batting at the top of the order, and at 2,500, I think he's a really, really good value play. That gives you some upside, and Garrett Cole, 11.7. You got to find these good value guys. I think Sano is one. I think Hicks is one. I think Donaldson at 3,100 is a very, very fair price. And the last guy I'm going to look at, I like a lot. I'm looking at Jonathan Scope. I think Jonathan Scope is in a really good spot here. For Detroit, I like this Detroit stack as a whole. I'm gonna let you. I don't know if that's somebody that you got on your radar or not, today, Jeremy. But there's somebody that I am looking at. We got the lineup is already confirmed. We got Scope at 2,500, batting in that 2-hole. Going against Danny Duffy. And Scope has been, he is a switch hitter. He does bat better from the right side. So I think that this is a pretty good spot for him going against Danny Duffy. So that's really where I'm at. Just to kind of recap it, Garrett Cole, 11.7. You got Scope coming in at second base, 2.5K. Donaldson, 3.1. Hicks at 2.5. And Sano at 2.7. That does give you about 3,200. You got plenty of room right there to kind of get a couple more really, really good players. Hey, guys, at the end of the day, we could come on here and give you the most expensive plays and say, hey, load up these guys, load up with Garrett Cole, and you have to figure out the value play. For me personally, I think it's a lot easier to get the more to do it yourself, pay up for the higher price guys, and us give you the value that we think really kind of get you going today. That's really where I'm at with my cash game core for today. I'm interested to see who you have in your stacks today, Jeremy. So go ahead and get us started with that.
Well, I'm gonna let Chris go and stick to yesterday's format and knock out his crush, and then let him compliment some of the guys you've got, because I think you guys seem to be kind of in the same spot.
I'm not really prepared to say anything today. But
yeah.
Thanks for letting me go here real quick. And then for everybody that's watching this live, just know that before we went live, Steph and I talked real briefly, just to go over who we liked so we don't, repeat the same guys. And lo and behold, we both liked a Detroit Tigers stack, the Mercer, Scope, Nico, even Jordy Mercer in there. But in my crush spot today, I found myself with a lot of New York Mets again. And to complement what Steph said, I like some Minnesota Twins tonight, but the different than what Steph is saying. So hopefully, not saying we're the smartest people in the room, but if you listen to us, you can create, a killer lineup. And then Jeremy stacks here. So leading it off, I like Jeff McNeil. bottom of the basement kind of price for McNeil. $2,800 on FanDuel, $4,800 on DraftKings. So I found myself in a weird spot last night where I was comparing the same guy and why they are $2,000 or $1,800, more expensive or cheaper on both sites, but it only leads to a dark place. So McNeil, $2,800. I love Conforto in the outfield for the Mets tonight. He's an even 3K on FanDuel, 4,600 on DraftKings. And then I like to stack with Conforto and Brandon Nimmo, 2,400 on FanDuel, 35 on DraftKings. And then I'm glad you didn't say it, Steph, because Justin Smoke is my favorite play of the day. He's going to hit a home run tonight. Mentioned him in the previous video with Jeremy. Milwaukee's lines aren't confirmed yet. They are playing in Pittsburgh tonight. Smoke is only $2,700 on FanDuel and $3,800 on DraftKings. Get him in your line. He's going to hit a home run. If I'm not mistaken, I'm 2 for 2. Monday I had Alonso, and then last night I had Josh Donaldson. So when you're winning,
don't jinx it.
Stop it. If you're one of them guys, and I'm sorry, I don't get down like that. I'll send a screenshot of my lineup halfway through, and I've had good success with it. So let's round this list out. My cash game, or excuse me, my crush spot, Jorge Soler in Detroit again. 3,700 on FanDuel, 3,600 on DraftKings, and I love the Minnesota combo of Max Kepler. He's leading off tonight. He's 3,000 on FanDuel, 41 on DraftKings, and then Mitch Garver. I have Kepler and Garver. I found them in every single line that I have tonight in all formats. Garver is 2,700 on FanDuel, 4,700 on DraftKings. So that's what I have. Like Steph did, let's recap real quick. Jeff McNeil for the Mets. Justin Smoke for Milwaukee, $2,700. Jorge Soler for Kansas City. Conforto and Nemo, I went over a guy, but that's cool. And then Kepler and Garver tonight in Minnesota.
All right, so between the two of you, you want Seager or Correa?
Oh, I'm going. You're talking about Seager for the Dodgers, correct?
Yes.
Hold on one second. What's the difference in the price? You kind of caught me out.
$100. Correa's 3,000. Seager's 3,100.
And
Correa's going against Dustin May, and Seager's going against a rookie nobody knows anything about except me.
I'm going Seager.
You think I don't know anything about Justin Dunn in Seattle, Jeremy? That was pretty presumptuous of you.
No. I said Corey Seager's going against a pitcher nobody seems to know anybody about.
Oh, okay. I'm going Seager.
All right, so
for the Dodgers.
So I'll just throw this out there. You guys can run into GPP, but I think this is a pretty fire lineup, to be honest with you, based off your core play, Steph, and your crush spot, Chris. So you got Garrett Cole for 11-7 is your pitcher. Miguel Sano, Jonathan Scope, Josh Donaldson, Corey Seager, Jorge Soler, Michael Conforto, Aaron Hicks, and Justin Smoke. That rounds out your lineup. That's a pretty fire line. That's worth putting in a $1 single entry GPP.
Yeah,
and moving on. All right, so stacks, man. Look, when this day started, one of the teams that I wasn't really high on was Anaheim. But as the day goes on and on, this is kind of turning out to be one of my favorite stacks. And the 4 pieces that I'm looking to get in the stack is bookends as far as your 1 and 9 guys, with Fletcher leading off, and then Goodwin in that 9 spot. As the lineup turns over, Goodwin can be the second leadoff hitter in that lineup. So I like those 2 guys as the value guys, and then just stacking up Trout and Rendon back to back should give you a ton of upside and a ton of opportunities, and a really good correlation with a 1, a 9, and a 2 and a 3 guy. So I like Anaheim a lot. They're not coming in as the highest implied run total on the board. I love the Dodgers today, and I love the Yankees. I love the Twins. To me, those 3 teams are going to be the chalkiest 3 teams. The Dodgers are facing a pitcher, like I said, that nobody seems to know anything about. But what I will tell you is, in regards to Christian Javier, he's a guy, and Steph, we've talked about this. If you're going to have success against the Dodgers this year, it's going to be because a pitcher is able to keep that lineup off balance. Right. And when you look at Christian Javier, he comes in bare minimum of 5,500. He's the ultimate GPP play today. And take a look at his pitch mix. Fastball average velocity at 94 miles per hour, with a curveball average curveball velocity at 78 miles per hour. So that change of speed, 94 to 78, with a guy that, if you look at where he pitched at all 3 levels last year, he pitched actually all 4 levels because he pitched 1 inning in the majors. But the 3 levels in the minors he pitched, A+, AA, and AAA, he had over 176 strikeouts in 134 innings pitched. That's crazy stuff. I mean, that is insane strikeout numbers. So you're talking about a young arm, and you look at last night, Houston has made a pitcher for Houston in every single game this season has made their major league debut in at least one game. And last night they had the best innings they got last night were really out of the 2 guys that made their debuts and came in that game late. So I like the Dodgers, but I do like leveraging that Dodgers high implied run total and popularity with Christian Javier, a guy nobody knows anybody about in tournaments. I think stacking that game, that Houston and Dodger game, is a good idea tonight. There's a ton of bad blood. Steph, you and I text back and forth last night with what happened on that. And I mean, I've seen memes all over social media today with just that crybaby look that your boy's giving. So I think stacking that game is good because of the fact that Dustin May, as talented as he is, he can get in trouble. And he got in trouble against the Giants and only pitched 4 innings. So that game has the ability to go off. So I love Anaheim. I like the top 3 stacks. And then to me, you're going to have to find that value. I'm going to steal one of Chris's picks. I do like Seattle tonight because I think it's a leverage play going against Andrew Haney, who had a good outing against the Athletics. And the Athletics are a team that we think is going to be a pretty good lineup. So, you know, he had a 4 2/3, struck out 6 against that Oakland team. On paper, Seattle has not even anywhere close to the lineup that Oakland has, but they are loaded with a bunch of really good young prospects. So that's my kind of dark sleeper team. And then I'll round mine out with saying this. I will be using Johnny Cueto tonight against the Padres. The Padres have the 8th highest implied run total on the board. Cueto, he struggled against left-handed bats last year in his comeback, had a 500 ISO against him against left-handed bats. He's only going to have to navigate through 2, maybe 3 left-handed bats, depending on how the lineup confirms. And the power is not from the left-handed side of the plate in that Padres lineup. You look at the ISO numbers against right-handed bats, 0.33, really tough against right-handed bats. He just had a really strong outing through 63 pitches against the Dodgers, only gave up 1 earned run, and it was off weak contact. He gave up a couple of weak kind of seeing eye singles. So I love Cueto at that price tag. My overall theme of the night with my builds is there's 4 guys at $7,000, $7,500 above: Rich Hill, Nathan Eovaldi, and Johnny Cueto, and I'm missing one. Haney, right? Haney. Those 4 guys to me are the key to this thing. Garrett Cole is going to be extremely popular. There is some value these guys are giving you. It allows you to stack Cole up in some of these stacks like Kansas City and Detroit. But if you're going to go get the Yankees, you're going to get the Dodgers, you're going to get the Astros, you're going to get the Angels, you're going to need these guys in the $7,000 price tag. And those are the 4 pitchers that I'm those are the highest exposure guys that I have right now in my 150. I've got about 50% with those 4 guys and about 50% with Garrett Cole and Chris Paddock. So that's kind of how I'm rounding out my builds on the day.
Yeah, the only thing I'm gonna say is, I like what you're saying about the guy Christian Javier, and then I think that he definitely could have a bright future. It seems like he has some really good numbers and stuff like that. Just with everything that happened yesterday, if you messaged me about the Dodgers, I just think that today is not the day for him. There's too much.
You know what? I would agree with you, right? I would agree with you, but they showed this guy last night. So I watched the Houston broadcast. For some reason, when I flipped on MLB, I had the Houston broadcast on. Well, part of it is I can't stand listening to the Dodgers broadcasting, bro. I think that the Oral Hershiser, he's a great. I like Oral Hershiser, but the dude that does the play-by-play is the most annoying voice in all of baseball, and that says a lot because people can't stand Joe Buck, right? I can't. So anyway, they showed this dude because they hadn't confirmed. They weren't sure if they were going to use him last night or he was going to start today. They show him, and he's just this ball of arrogance and doesn't look like he looks like he's sitting by himself, chewing on his fingernails, talking shit, right? I don't think that this is a guy, his attitude doesn't seem like a guy who's now, could he go out and try to do too much? Maybe, and maybe he gets blown up that way. But at 5,500 in GPPs, whoever's watching this and plays them and me are going to be the only people who've got exposure to this guy. So you know what you have to get out of him also at 5,500. If he goes 3 innings and strikes out 5 Dodgers the first time through, perfect. He more than paid off.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure, definitely. So I think that's really where we're at with this video. If you want a more in-depth analysis on today's slate, make sure to check out the site, dfscheatsheet.com. Thanks, guys, for taking some time out of your day to get on and kind of, help our viewers out. And, hey, good luck tonight, guys. Peace out.